Hi there, this is Ranjit from tech2buzz.com, and in this video we're going to do the full review of this Xperia J Android phone. I've already done the unboxing for this phone, so if you want to know about a general overview and how to insert the SIM card and the battery and the micro SD card, you can check out that, because in this video I'm just going to directly jump into the review of this phone. The specs of this phone are pretty decent for the price that it sells, and before going into the in-depth review, I want to thank Faisal Communications for providing this unit for review. Let me first talk about the specs. This phone sports a 1 GHz processor, but it's just a Cortex A5 processor. It also has a dedicated GPU, that's Adreno 200. It has 512 MB of RAM, and out of the box it runs the Android ICS. Let me show you the same. And the screen is a 4-inch screen, and the resolution is also pretty decent. It is 480 by 854, and actually the phone looks pretty good in your hand and it fits comfortably. And if you look at the back, actually the back is kind of curved. The build quality is also pretty good. The back is actually made of plastic, but it feels good to hold. Moving towards the back, it has a 5 megapixel rear facing camera, and it has a LED flash, but again sadly the video recording is just restricted to 480p. It cannot record HD videos, and it just says Xperia over here, and we have the speakerphone over here, and it's pretty decent. And I was showing you the Android version. Let me show you the same. And if you go to about the phone, as you can see, it comes with the Android version 4.0.4, which is known as ice cream sandwich, but this phone is going to get the Android 4.1 update, that is Jelly Bean, according to Sony, but that'll be sometime in 2013. Coming to the storage, the internal storage is 4 GB, but out of that you just get about 2 GB, and out of that for your apps you get about 750 MB. And we also have 2 GB, but as I said, this phone does support a micro SD card, so you can add a micro SD card up to 32 GB. So regarding storage, you shouldn't have a problem with this phone. One thing that I noticed is the phone does not have an ambient light sensor, so you need to manually adjust the brightness. That's a little bit of a con here, but apart from that, for a phone that sells for around the MRP of this phone is it's on the box, it's written as 17,990, but Faisal Communications quoted me a street price around 15,500 for this phone, and I would say for that budget this is a decent phone. Again, it's not the fastest Android phone, and I did find some lags here and there, but again I would say it's not the deal breaker considering the things that you get with the phone. We get a decent display, that's a 4-inch display, and the quality of the display also is very good. Let me show you the same. If I even tilt the phone to extreme angles, then also the picture is pretty good. Also, moving to the top, again we also get a front facing camera with this, so that you can do Skype calls, etc. But again, it's a VGA camera, and we do also have a LED notification light over here, so when you charge the phone it glows in blue color, and also when you get a missed call or something, it glows here. But again, it's very tiny, so you need to be near the phone about 2 or 3 feet, otherwise you'll miss the notification. One more thing that we have is, if I just close the phone, and do notice here, and if I open it, you get a blue glow like this. It happens when you unlock the phone and when the phone is ringing, so that's a nice touch. Coming to the battery life, the battery life on this phone is pretty good. The battery is a 1750 milliampere battery, and in my testing I got above average results considering it's an Android phone, and with medium usage I would say that it can last you about 1.5 days. So in terms of battery life, I have no problems with this phone. Also, let me show you, I did some benchmarks, and let me show you the same. I ran the quadrant, and the quadrant score that I got for this device is 2038. Let me give you a breakup. The total is 2038. Out of that, the CPU got a score of 2429, memory is 1697, IO is 4245, 2D is 317, and 3D is 1500. As you notice, we have these 3 touch type capacitive buttons at the bottom, and that's the back, home, and the menu. To get the multitasking tray, you just hold this home button for a while and you get to all the apps, and you can easily kill the apps by just swiping them off. 1 second. Yeah, you just swipe them off and the apps get killed. Let me also show you the amount of free RAM that you get out of that 512 MB. Let me kill all the apps now. Let me kill this one also. And let's fire up this Android system info now, and as you can see, we get about 170 MB or so of free RAM. And yes, this phone might lag at times, but overall I would say if you're not a heavy gamer or somebody, this phone works fine in my testing. I also ran the Ninamark test, and again the results are mediocre because it has just a Adreno 200, and as you can see I got a score of 19.4. Let us run it again. And I would say again that score is not that great if you are a gamer, but for a casual user who just wants to play casual games like, let's say, Angry Birds, Amazing Alex, even Temple Run, those games run fine. But if you're a heavy gamer and want to run the latest Asphalt 7 etc., this phone is definitely not for you. But again, for a normal user who is not bothered too much about gaming, I think so the price point at about 15,500 or 16,000 is very attractive for this phone. And again, as you can see, we got a score of 19.4. And let's publish that. And again, as you can see, we have the Adreno 200 GPU. So let me get out of the same, and let's swipe up all these apps. Also, I noticed that while heavily multitasking, you do get a lag, so I would not suggest that opening more than 5 or 6 apps at the same time. Let me also run this Temple Run game and show you the same. And again, some people complained about the image quality, but I would say the image quality on this phone is pretty decent. And the touch sensitivity also was not an issue, as you can see. I also tested the multi-touch points on this phone, but sadly we just have 2 multi-touch points on this phone. Again, as you noticed, we did get a little bit of lag. And I would say mostly it runs fine without any issues. But again, if you are a heavy gamer, this phone is not for you. Regarding touch sensitivity also, I didn't have any problem. So let me get out. Now let us fire up the web browser as I'm connected to the internet, and I'm going to use the stock web browser, and I'm going to load the Tech2Buzz site. And again, as you noticed, it loads it pretty quickly, and we do get this pinch to zoom gesture. But again, as I said, it's not going to be silky smooth, and keep your expectations realistic. Don't expect it to perform like a 25,000 or a 30,000 phone that has a dual core processor. But in general usage, I would say you can use this phone, and it also does playback videos that are directly embedded within the web page. Let me show you the same. Let it load, and I'm going to change the orientation, and I did notice that the orientation change does take about a second or so, but again, I won't say that's a deal breaker. And let us play this video back. Hi there, this is Ranjit from Tech2Buzz.com, and in this video I'm going to talk about the new Android update known as 4.0. So as you can see, it can play back those videos without any issues. Let's also go to a little bit of heavy site like, let's say, TechSpot. .com. The keyboard is a mixed experience because if you notice, the phone is a little bit narrow in the width, so it might take you a little while to get used to it. Again, it's going to the mobile version. Again, as you can see, it loads it fairly quickly. I would say not the quickest, but yeah, gets the job done. And I'm going to click to the desktop version, and let's see how well it loads that. Again, as you can see, it loaded it fairly quickly. And now let's try the pinch gesture. Again, as you can see, you do get that lag, as I said, but again, for a whole package of about 4-inch screen, decent browser, for a budget of 15,000-16,000 or so, I think so it does the job. Again, we do get this double tap, and you can double tap to, and it reflows the text. But again, true text reflow is not there. For that, you need to install the Opera browser. Also, Chrome web browser is also pre-installed with this phone. So again, as I said, web browsing does the job. but again, don't expect it to perform like a dual core Android phone or something like that, because it's not that. So I would say it does pass my test in web browsing, etc., but it won't be silky smooth. Also, with the YouTube app, it was able to play videos without any issues, but again, let me show you the same. Let's search for my own channel. Let's search for my own channel, Geeky Ranjit. And let's play back this video. I'm going to change the orientation now.
Hi there, this is Ranjit.
And if you notice, we are playing it in high quality, and it does play it back without any issues. So let me get out. Also, some people ask me about the proximity sensor on this phone, and yes, it does work fine without any issues. Also, the call quality that I got on this phone was excellent. Now let's talk about the media playback, and to show you the same, I installed a third-party media player like MX Player, because the default media player does not play all the video formats. And I'm going to show you the same. Again, I'm going to play this as a 720p trailer, and it's in a very high bit rate. And as expected, it will not play it back, smoothly, but it does play it back. I would say video content that is specifically optimized for mobile, that is 720p content, will play back smoothly, but high bitrate videos like this will skip a few frames. To get the best video playback, I would say that restrict it to 480p. And let me get out of the same. I played a ton of 480p content, and that played without any issues. So again, no problems. And let me kill all these apps by swiping them out. As I said, the multi-touch points are just 2. Also, this phone does have a magnetic compass, and it works fine, as you can see. So that's a decent thing. Sony did not skimp on that. Now let me also talk a little bit about the camera, and here it is, I would say, not that great. It is just average. It's not by Sony standards. I would have expected that it would have produced better results, because it's a 5 megapixel camera, and I have to say the camera is really slow. For example, when you hit the camera app, you have to wait about 2 to 3 seconds before it just starts. And also it does take quite a while to focus. For example, I'm just going to focus on this, and I hit this button, and if you notice, it does take about a second or two to focus. And also it cannot take the shots quickly. If I just click, again there is a delay of 1 second or so. Also, another bummer is that video recording is restricted, and again you cannot record in 720p. I have taken a bunch of shots with this phone, the rear facing 5 megapixel, and I'm going to show you all these pictures so that you can get a better idea about the same. All these photographs were taken with the rear facing camera of the Xperia J. I just noticed that the photos are not that sharp for a 5 megapixel shooter. As you can see, the sharpness is not there. I got some better results with macro shots outdoors. These shots were taken in semi-indoor conditions. Again, as you can see, the pictures came out to be a little bit soft to my liking. And these shots were taken in completely artificial light in my office. Again, as you notice, the sharpness is not there. This is with the flash fired. The front-facing camera, again, as it's just a VGA camera, but I was able to do Skype calls, etc. without any issues. Also, the keyboard is also pretty decent, I would say. Let's try to type a new message, and as you can see, we do get this predictive text over here, so it's easy to type. But again, it will take some time because the width is a little bit narrow, and you can also type in this way, and here it is pretty comfortable. Also, let me show you the dialer, and we do get smart dialing with the same. And let me dial this number, and I'll switch to the speakerphone.
Hello, welcome to Vodafone. We are happy to help you.
And as you can see, the voice quality with the speakerphone is pretty loud. So again, the speaker quality is very good. Also, the earpiece quality, as I said earlier, was very good. So no issues with that. Let me also talk a little bit about the user interface. This phone runs on the Sony Timescape UI. We get 5 home screens with the same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hitting this you can get to the app tray. And again, you do get a little bit of customizations over here. If you click here, you can arrange the apps according to the way you like, and we can also easily delete apps directly from here. Let me get out of the same. One thing I do not like is that we do not get this quick toggle tray over here so that you can quickly adjust the brightness, etc. And that's kind of a bummer because this phone does not have that auto brightness setting. So to adjust the brightness, you need to go here, go into the display option, and here you need to adjust the brightness. So it's a long way to do, but again, as it's Android, you get third-party apps from where you can actually just quickly add a quick toggle tray here. So again, we also get this gesture, and let me show you the same. Oops. And you also get this gesture using which you can just get to all the widgets on the phone, but I would suggest that you just remove all these widgets because I feel that they unnecessarily take up the memory on this phone. And again, as this phone just has 512 MB of memory, removing these unnecessary widgets will just speed up the phone a little bit. So what do I feel about this phone? Again, for the price bracket of about 15,500 to 16,000, again, this is the street price. I would say Sony has built a great phone. The styling is pretty good. If you look, it looks a pretty stylish phone, and it's very comfortable to hold, and it's very light. Also, the fact that it has a very good battery is a big plus point. Things that I don't like are at times you might notice a lag, but again, considering the price point at which it sells, I think so. As of now, at the time of shooting this video, that's November 2012, this has to be one of the best Android phone for the overall package. Again, yes, we have the Sony Xperia J also that has a dual core processor, and I would say that's a better phone if you are a gamer. But again, the problem with that phone is the limited storage. Again, Sony did a very good thing of providing a micro SD card on this phone, so that if you require a lot storage, you can just add a micro SD card. I hope you found this video review helpful. That's it for now. This is Ranjit from tech2buzz.com, and I hope to see you in my next video.